It's a bit of the home venue here, of course, for the women's team, and the men have a decentralized program, so unlike the Great Britain women's team, they are based at clubs around Europe. So we're ready now to meet the teams, and so here come the opposition for Great Britain. It's Austria, led out by their captain, Zsilagi, one of the most experienced players around, 157 caps, 720 goals. Probably scored more goals on his own than most of the Great Britain team put together. Used to play for Kiel, he's been a Champions League winner, and now plays for top German Bundesliga side Flensburg. Huge amount of experience in the Austrian team here today, several players over the 100 cap mark, and they've got a few big names coming along. We'll tell you more about them, but now we're going to meet the team from Great Britain. Great cheer from the crowd here at Crystal Palace. Great Britain led out by their captain, Bobby White, the goalkeeper. And Great Britain giving away in height as well in this particular game. Huge Austrian team here. Zsilagi 196, Hermann 194, Fössler 193, Posch 198. It's a huge defensive lineup. The referees for today, we'll meet them very shortly again. Taras Kuz and Viktor Zorba from the Ukraine. And Great Britain, who will be having their own test event later this year in April at the Maesbrook Centre, which is going to be the official Olympic test venue in East London. We're looking forward to that. And more will follow in the media. So we're going to meet the team now.
Austria.
And it's going to be the Austrian team.
Nikolai.
So their goalkeepers, well, they've lost Thomas Bauer, the 25-year-old who plays for Neuhausen in Germany. He's been injured in the first leg game in Austria, but they have Marinovic, 106 caps, though, more than able to cover him. They played, of course, in the European Championships in 2010, where they finished 9th. Great performance on home ground, and in the World Championships last year, where they finished 18th. Other players to look out for, well, we mentioned Viktor Zsilagi already. Patrick Fössler, the number 3, has over 200 caps, the line player, and 540 goals to his name. And look at also for number 28, the right winger, Robert Weber, who plays for Magdeburg. A bit of a new star coming through in the German league. 90 caps, but already 319 goals. And another very experienced player who plays for Ballingen in Germany is Roland Schlinger, number 21, the left back. Has scored 473 goals for Austria in 125 games for the Austrian side. So it tells you that Great Britain are up against a huge amount of experience here today. Their coach Patrekur Johannesson from Iceland, who took over from Magnus Andersson, who had a short and not so successful time with Austria after the hugely successful tenure of Dagur Sigurdsson, who took them to that 9th place in the European Championships in 2010. And now we're going to meet the team from Great Britain.
Number 1, Jesper Parker.
So Jesper Parker, who plays his club handball
Number
for
12,
Sävehof in Sweden. First playing the Great Britain team to be involved in the Champions League this year. He's done really well. Bobby White, the captain, though, plays for Valence in France, 27 caps. But the big name to look out for in the Great Britain team here today, Stephen Larsen, number 14, playing at right back. The Yorkshire-born player has scored 166 goals for Great Britain in 22 internationals. The problem is, of course, if they put too much pressure on him defensively, it can expose Great Britain, but much will depend on his relationship with Chris Moore, the 21-year-old playmaker who plays for Order in Denmark, who is not a slouch with the scoring, 107 goals in 31 internationals for Chris Moore.
Number 20.
And Chris McDermott is back from a long-term series of injuries, number 21, the line player. Chris McDermott, who's 2 meters and 10 tall, 100 kilos, 77 goals, is a great tally for him. Top scorer, though, midweek, as expected, Stephen Larsen, who got 6 goals for the Great Britain team against Austria. And the two coaches for Great Britain, senior coach Dragan Djukic and Bill Bailey, who last Thursday celebrated his 100th goal in charge of the Great Britain team, because he was, in fact, the Great Britain coach up until the squads disbanded some time back in the 90s, and Great Britain had to start the clock all over again and rebuild the team effectively from scratch in 5 years to be ready for the Olympic Games. And we've just been introduced to the referees, as I mentioned earlier, Taras Kuz and Viktor Zorba of the Ukraine. And we'll now have the national anthems, starting with Austria. Very focused faces there on the Austrian team, and now we'll have their British anthem.
Great Britain. Let's hear it again for both teams, Austria
The Great
and
Britain
Great
team
Britain.
absolutely focused here on this game despite the injuries. Omar Sani, the left back, Gawain Vincent at right back, Sebastian Edgar, the right winger, all unavailable today. Could be a problem on the right wing to some extent. Sebastian Prieto is carrying an injury, the only real recognised right wing in the team. If he is injured, Aidan Woodhall makes his entrance for his first international for Great Britain. The Salford right back may have to deputise on the wing if necessary. Got a great opportunity for the 21-year-old. Much is going to depend on the goalkeepers, but Satchwell, White and Parker have been on great form recently, and they're going to be counted on very much here today. Need good connection at the back. Chris Moore has got to connect well with Steve Larson, and if they can connect up well on the line, Robin Garnham, the line player, got 4 goals midweek. Great Britain may not be able to qualify anymore from this group into the World Championships, but they're certainly going to want to go out with a good result here and try and do better than they did midweek. Austria were always going to be one of the favourites in this group. The amount of experience they line up against Great Britain is huge. And make no mistake about it, they played in the European Championships, in the World Championships, and they come here with great experience. Dragan Dukic there in the centre gathers his players round then for the last preparations before it gets underway. They've got to weather the storm early on and try and get an impact quickly here against the Austrians, not allow them to take control of the game, as happened midweek in Austria when they went progressively 5-1, then 10-2 down. It was a poor start that cost them ultimately, and if they can just get tucked in now and level things out early on and hang in there, then a good chance. McDermott makes a good return from injury, the number 21 for the line. Looks like he's going to step on court. Not only important in attack, but important defensively as well, where he has a great role in the centre with his great height at 2 meters and 10, and that will help to block. He wasn't available midweek, and that will certainly help. And it's the captain, Bob White, who's going to start in the centre, the Austrian team. When you look down the centre, Santos, number 92, is going to start on the left wing. He scored 12 midweek, the left wing, and it tells you where Great Britain had the problems. Every time they lost possession, they were hit on the break, and Santos was going up on the left-hand side and connecting with the goalkeeper. The captain, Gilagi, takes his place for Austria as Great Britain are going to throw off the game, playing in the red strip. From left to right on the picture, McDermott is at the centre. The Ukrainian referees check with the table. And so here we go, Great Britain throw on.
That's just a warm-up.
So Austria starts 6-0, the customarily quick handshakes there. Always starts nicely, and then the tough business starts. Moore, no surprise in the centre. Larson at right back. Left back is Hare. First shot there just goes wide by Chris Moore, just rushed it slightly, and Gilagi looks for the quick throw out. Zura to the line, it's intercepted, but unfairly, say the referees, a slap on the arm as he was coming up. The foul called as Andreas Lasner is hit. Lasner, only playing in defence at the moment, is going to swap with Fussler. Fussler, 203 caps, 540 goals. He goes in on the line, and a little friendly warning just to the left by the referees. That could be the last friendly warning they have before the yellow cards start to come out again. Gilagi looks to switch it across. Nice quick play from side to side. Great save by Bobby White early on. Off the shot by number 8, Richard Mertz, the 25-year-old who plays in Germany for Bergischer. Moore all the way through as he releases Larson. Hare. Larson again, spotted the goalkeeper, sideways on the line. He beats Marinovic.
Great Britain and Stephen Larson.
First blood then to Great Britain in the game, and a huge cheer from the crowd. Great Britain defending very deep indeed. John Pearce, 1 meter 91, is at the front of the Great Britain defence. They're playing it deep against Gilagi. They're also pushing up quite a bit on Zura, the number 5 for Austria. 106 goals he's scored. The Lithuanian-born Austrian international. We're going to have the first yellow card of the game. Chris McDermott, occupational hazard, I'm afraid, for him in his central role in defence. These things happen. Throw has to be taken for the right place. Gilagi looks to pass to the line. Fantastic block by John Pearce. Caught him straight away. Didn't even get off the ground. Gilagi tries again now, though. Oh, off the post, and Bobby White somehow stops it quick. Muir looks for some options. Larsson's coming down. There's a gap down the middle. It's gone wide, unfortunately. And we've got a yellow card for Santos. Meanwhile, for a shove, the referees sportingly letting play go on before handing out the card to the Austrian left winger. 2.5 minutes play then. Great Britain 1, Austria 0. And that's going to be another yellow card. Well, they're coming thick and fast early on here. And it looks as if this time it has gone to Pearce. He's got a critical role at the front of the defence. 5-1 defence into the wing. There's no space for them. They have to bring it out again. Quick switch to the other side. Zura looks for options. He hasn't got them, but now he has. Oh, unlucky. White got his hand to it.
Goal is good. Maximilian Hermann.
So that was Maximilian Hermann. A bit of a shove off the ball there. The referee's coming over. Let's see if a card's going to come out. They haven't given anything, just a polite warning. Bit of a let-off there for Vytautas Zura, the Lithuanian-born Austrian playmaker. Veteran of the European Championships in 2010 on home soil when they finished 9th, Austria. Great result. Moore, crossover. McDermott's come out to try and flatten the defence, gives some space to Larsson. Larsson goes in. Fouled, but play on, say the referees, and the ball goes out of play in the end as Pearce couldn't pick up the pass from Hare. Throw in for Austria. Zura says, don't pass to me, as Garnham goes up to pressure him. Gilagi, good active defence by Great Britain early on here, playing 5-1, but plenty of depth from the number 2 defenders on each side. He is inside the area, that won't count, and the third and final yellow card for Great Britain now. It's number 22, Garnham. The goal couldn't be given because the shot was taken from inside the area with a hand down, but a penalty's been given. It will be taken by Robert Weber, the number 28. Change of goalkeeper for Great Britain as Nicholas Satchwell, just 20 years of age, comes into goal. Oh, unlucky. Satchwell got his foot to it, but couldn't keep the ball out by Robert Weber, who adds to his impressive tally of 319 goals in 90 internationals. So Great Britain build up again. Moore, little handover. Larsson being well covered at the moment by Lassner. Hare tries to go through, good block. Gilagi in his way, he tried to pass his arm over the top, a windmill feint. And we just need to mop the court up. So early on here with 15 seconds to go to the 5-minute mark. Austria leading 2-1. Great Britain have done well. This was the big danger compared to midweek where they allowed the Austrians to stamp their authority on the game right from the beginning. Here Great Britain are really giving them something to think about. Larsson into the wing. That's come off a defender, and it'll be a throw-in from the corner for Great Britain. Zura jumping in and getting in the way. He read the move well. They try to Kempe, lobbing the ball across into the area for another player to dive in, catch and shoot before he lands. Moore sees the chance for a go. Pass it to Larsson. Hare again. Moore to the line. Oh, superb play! And McDermott celebrates his return with a great goal. Quick throw off taken by the Austrians. What a lovely feed into him. And a goal by Santos, scorer of 12. Midweek, he gets his account going as well. Very quick response from the Austrians. Chris Moore. And we got our first yellow card now for Austria. It's number 5, Vytautas Zura, the 32-year-old. He plays for Fivers Margareten, the Austrian champions. Well, in fact, I beg your pardon. I think Santos is already on one there, so that's a second yellow. Hare, Moore, looking for an option. McDermott comes out, but it's a feint. Larsson instead goes through. Hare to the wing. It's very closed. He's going to try it anyway on the inside post. Superbly done by John Pearce, the 24-year-old who plays for Blåband in Denmark. Blocked. And that's going to be a penalty. It could have been worse. Chris Moore caught a little bit out on a limb on the far side as Maximilian Hermann tried to break through. Change the goalkeeper again. Satchwell's going to come into goal. And he's once more up against the marksman extraordinaire, Robert Weber of Magdeburg in Germany. And again, Satchwell touches it but can't keep it out. Goal number 2 for Weber.
4-3.
Both from the 7-meter line.
Make a little noise for your home team.
Prieto coming into the right wing. Tries to go deep. Pearce as well, trying to stretch the defense so the back players have a little bit of room to maneuver. Larsen just missed the connection, and Santos is away. And White can't quite cover it, and it's his second goal.
5 in total from Austria. 5-3.
Great Britain take a very quick throw off. Prieto. Too many steps, say the referees, and it's a free throw for Austria.
Possession back to Austria.
So the Great Britain defence certainly working a lot better than midweek. Just 2 goals in it now, 7.5 minutes into the first half. They're playing 5-1 with John Pearce at the front. But the number 2 defenders are coming out a long way. In fact, it's pretty much a 3-2-1 defence when you look at it, because the number 2s are pushing up and then dropping back in. 3-2-1 defence, which is hard to fight again. Well intercepted, surely fairly. The referees don't agree, though. And a little warning to Dragan Djukic, the Great Britain coach. I've got some sympathy for him. I thought that was a good take. They closed in before the ball reached the line player. Bit of a let-off for the Austrians. Friendly little discussion bottom left of the picture there as Ziura comes up to speak to the Great Britain coach. And it's a remarkable journey that Great Britain have had. If you think that 5 years ago there was not a Great Britain team to speak of. They had to start from scratch to prepare for the Olympic Games. They had a great tournament between Christmas and the New Year, the Baltic Cup. Into the wing, Santos, a lot of space, and Bobby White unlucky, touches the ball. He just can't quite keep it out. And we've got a 2-minute suspension for Garnham. And the referee saying that he heaved the player back. I'm not quite sure which incident he's referring to, but that's the way it is.
Take a break.
So Santos, goal number 3, and Great Britain now 3 adrift, but also playing short-handed for the next 2 minutes. And it allows Austria to switch their defence up. Ziura is now individually marking Larsen, top scorer for Great Britain. Larsen, who scored 166 goals in just 22 internationals. Plays for Norwegian First Division side Drammen. Managed to get himself free. The defender Hare takes a shot, it's blocked. And it comes off. Lassner goes out for a throw into Great Britain, who keep possession for the time being. Oh, nearly going through the legs of the keeper. Free throw though for Great Britain. Keep possession. And Great Britain in no hurry to take the throw. They're trying to run down the 2-minute clock, obviously, with their suspension. Larsen trying to get in with a shooting position, he can't. Prieto can't get around Santos, who's a quick player. Oh, superb! Hare just saw the gap and used the defender as a screen.
6-4.
And the experienced goalkeeper, Nikola Marinovic, wouldn't have seen that come until the very last second. 4-6. As the substitutions made again for Austria. Lassner, the defense specialist, goes off, and Patrick Fussler, scorer of 540 goals in 203 appearances, comes into his place on the line. Massive experience. Into the wing, and Great Britain have a narrow defence. Remember, they're short-handed. Great defence. Smothered the pass, and quite wisely they'll bring the ball up slowly now. They still have 25 seconds to go on their 2-minute suspension. The scoreline still close. Still Larsen being individually marked at the bottom of the picture. Runs in instead on the line. 15 seconds before they're back to full strength again. And with him on the line, instead Martin Hare's being individually marked. Chris Moore. Pearce tries to go round. fouled, it would appear. Prieto, now passive play is being won by the referees. They've got to take a quick shot. And the ball is stolen instead, and Santos is away. Oh, superbly taken. Well, Bobby White tried to encourage him to shoot on the lower side, but he didn't take the option, and Santos gets goal number 4 for his tally. And so at the 10-minute mark, then Austria are leading 7-4 against Great Britain. So Great Britain back to full strength again, and Chris McDermott back in on the line. Larson with a long-range shot. McDermott trying to pick up the loose ball, but just couldn't quite control it in the nanosecond he had before landing back inside. Intercepted. Great Britain have possession. And have we got an injury? And a slight concern. Great Britain have so many injured players already. And Martin Hare getting up very, very slowly there. He's being attended to immediately by the team physio. I think he's taken a blow to the head, has he? And that is bad news for Great Britain, who don't have a staggering amount of options. The only alternative, with no other left back to put in, is probably to have Moore slip to the left back position, and Kieran Williams will come in to the centre position. So the centre player has to move over, and they'll hope that Martin Hare can get fit again very quickly. They are missing a number of back players through injury. Omar Sani and Gawain Vincent unable to play. Hennessy not picked in the end, but he's only got 1 cap to his name. And they've got to try and maintain the momentum, but lots of experience with Kieran Williams coming in, 24 caps and 57 goals. Too many steps, possession goes over to Austria. They take it quickly, but from the wrong place, and they'll have to send the ball back to the right spot for the goalkeeper to take. Nikolai Marinovic puts the ball up, but it means a slower attack now. Chris Moore has moved up to the front of the defence now. 3-2-1 defence with Chris Moore at the front. McMillan playing in number 2 from the right-hand side to cover for Hare. Good big player. Santos just finds the inside. 5th goal already for Santos.
8 total, Austria.
New young player in their team. Relative newcomer, but he's certainly made a mark for them. Moore. Williams. Oh, that's an attacking foul. Williams runs straight into the defender. And Austria have possession. They've got to be careful, don't give the initiative away. That was a wonderful pass and a great shot. Richard Verst scores, and a 2-minute suspension for Pearce.
Goal is good for Richard Verst.
And a timeout has been called by Dragan Djukic for Great Britain. As you can only do it when you're in possession for obvious reasons. 3 timeouts per team, although you can't use more than 2 in any one half. So 9-4 the scoreline now, and Austria have scored a 3-1 run of play here. Santos with 2, Verst with that last one, a quick throw on the long pass there, very nicely done, but Great Britain are once more going to be short-handed. A power play for Austria, which will allow them to probably build on it, but certainly the damage is being limited here and controlled to some extent by Great Britain. But they've got to keep the pressure going all the way through the game. Martin Hare is up there, you can see in the centre of the picture. Seems none the worse now, and hopefully they can get him back on after this timeout to take his place at left back. It will help because it's unsettling when you're having to move players out of position. Although Chris Moore, hugely versatile. And on the top there, the corner, you can see the goalkeepers having a quick exchange. Jesper Parker keeping the stats and just sharing information with Bobby White, the Great Britain keeper. In goal at the back there in the yellow shirt. 27 caps, plays in France for Valence. So Great Britain will throw off, and even though Martin Hare was up and looking okay, they're not going to put him back on yet. They're going to continue with Chris Moore at the left back and Kieran Williams in the centre. Kieran Williams, he plays for Salford along with Aidan Woodhall, coached by the Great Britain assistant coach Billy Bailey. So no line player for Great Britain. It allows once more the Austrians to put pressure on Larson. He's being defended individually, bottom left of the picture there. Kieran Williams trying to find some options. Prieto's come out to help. Guns on the line. Nothing, say the referees. Was he pushed as he went to shoot? That's what he seemed to feel, but Gilaghi's got control of the ball and Austria come back again. Power play for them, leading 9-4 with 13 minutes played in the first half. Fössler goes back in on the line, and Austria not taking it easy here by any means. Still with a strong lineup, Maximilian Hermann at right back, who plays for Medal Tirol. Oh, lovely play. And the Great Britain defence at full stretch against Austria as they play short-handed. See Fössler get his first of the game, 10-4. And Great Britain still short-handed for another 45 seconds. Fössler, huge Lassner rather, huge defender in the middle there, 192, working with Maximilian Hermann to block the central path. Larsen looks for the line, there's nothing there. Kieran Williams either. They're playing in very close to the defence. Oh, through the legs of the keeper by Prieto. And once again, short-handed, they still manage to get the goal. Austrians tried to take a quick throw up. Kieran Williams kills it off by bundling Robert Weber over the line. Throw into Austria. Looking for the line's too closely defended. Coming back again, switch to the left wing, not enough space there, as they've now brought in Alexander Hermann into the left wing to replace Santos. Oh, beautifully done, a little broken wrist shot there from the far side, and Weber shows why he is such a big name in German Bundesliga handball. Third goal for him. 11-5 to Austria. So Great Britain back to full strength again. Garnham's gone in on the line in place of McDermott now. Good strong line player, Garnham. Oh, lovely fake. Pretended to hand the ball off to Kieran Williams, and instead Moore came round the outside, although he seems to have turned his ankle a little. Oh, and fumbles the ball over the line, nothing given. Play on, say the referees. 6-11, the scoreline. Oh, what a shame. Good save by Marinovic. And a quick one back, and Jesper Parker, who's just come into goal, is beaten.
First goal for him. We're into the second half of the first half.
12-6 then, we're midway through the first half. And Great Britain still hanging in there. There's 6 goals in it. Beginning to show some good flashes of inspiration with the attack, switching back on the play. Little hand off, Chris Moore. Well, that's his speciality. You've only got to give him a whiff of the goal and he'll go for it. 7-12. Zura puts the ball across. It's gone out, has it? Yes, say the referees. Throw into Great Britain. Some good defence by Great Britain. Twice now smothering Austrian attacks. So Garnham, number 22, on the line, 23 years of age, 66 goals in 26 appearances, plays for Fram Larvik in Norway. 23-year-old making a name for himself. Still the Austrians with his 6-0 defence with plenty of mobility, happy to come a long way forwards. Well, that seemed to be off the foot of Larsen. It also seemed to be off the foot of Lassner, but the referee's waved play on it. Would have been a free throw anyway for the Austrians. And probably the right decisions by them. Hawkins has now taken over at the front of the Great Britain defence, the 26-year-old who plays for Afturelding in Iceland, together with Chris McDermott. Just recovered from a thumb injury, which is prohibitive. Good defence again. Goalkeeper's got it. Jesper Parker looks at some options. Larsen's got the ball. They had a wing if they wanted it quickly. Chris Moore. Oh, great save by Marinovic. That's a shame. Well, first real miss of the game for Great Britain. Zura, nice little windmill fade. Oh, lovely play. Went around, pulled in the final defender, then handed the ball off to Alexander Hermann. So Great Britain, time to settle down. Wingers again going very deep for Great Britain to try and stretch the Austrian defence. Still Chris Moore at the left back position after the injury to Hare. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. They've got enough injury problems, Great Britain, at the back, without adding to the list. With the 22-year-old who plays for Stavanger, also in Norway. Mør's gone into the centre now. Williams at left back. They've lost the ball, but it's unfair, say the referees, who belatedly blow the whistle after Lassner caught Chris Mør's arm, and Chris Mør is coming off. He's cringing a little. And Hare is back on again for Great Britain. It's going to appear in your picture. There he is at the top, straight into the action. Very closed angle from the wing. It's in. Beautifully done by Hawkins. Very closed angle for the shot, and the goalkeeper will be annoyed that he took the bait and came forwards, which is exactly what Hawkins was looking for before lobbing him. Hawkins resumes at the front of the 3-2-1 defence. And Schlinger has come into the attack now for Austria, hugely experienced left back. Austria now trying to get into the fray, and we've got a penalty. Arm taken in the act of shooting for Fussler. And no change in goal this time. Jesper Parker, the 27-year-old, 32 caps, is up against Weber, who's scored 2 from 2 at the 7-metre line so far. Unlucky again, seemed to react the right way, Parker, but just couldn't keep the ball out.
We're heading into nearly the final 10 minutes and a half.
4th goal for Weber, 3 of them from the 7-metre line. Kieran Williams looks for the line. There's no option there. Ball released as Hare is hit hard in defence by Gilagi. Here again, Williams looks down the middle. Garnham's free, but he doesn't give him the ball. He's very closely marked. He would probably have been intercepted. Williams goes for the shot.
Williams goes low.
Bit telegraphed inside the area, say the referees. It's a throw for Austria. Gilagi. And Hawkins there looking for an attacker's foul. Too many steps. And even Schlinger makes a mistake. Oh, the ball just wouldn't bounce for him. Pearce was looking to pick it up on the rebound. And, well, bizarrely, Pearce has been sent off for 2 minutes. And not happy with that decision. And that's his second 2-minute suspension. Seemed to have interfered with the Austrians' throw-off, I assume. And so, once more, it's a power play situation for the Austrians. What disappointment then for Great Britain as we come up to 20 minutes played then in the first half. Austria 14, Great Britain 8.
Let's get it back in. Let's get it back in the
So the Great Britain team stretched now as the wingers go very, very deep, and there's space in the middle if they want it, and the wingers can find it as well. And it makes Great Britain defence work even harder, saps the energy. And there's the problem. It just leaves so much space wide, with Weber scoring his 5th goal.
15 total for Austria.
Change the goalkeeper out of the picture as Bobby White goes back into goal for Great Britain. So still 1 minute and 15 seconds on Great Britain's suspension. They've reorganised at the back now a little bit. So Williams in the centre. Well, in fact, Larsen is back at the right back position. Larsen pushed though by Weber, and it's a free throw for Great Britain. He's happy to take very slowly. Larsen, who's a real success story for Great Britain. He's at the moment 8th top scorer in the Norwegian First Division. Great track record. Making quite a name for himself in the Scandinavian division. Hare's now gone into the centre position, goes to windmill past. The ball's still in play. They're going to give a free throw and 2-minute suspension for Lassner. First one of the game against the Austrians, and that's going to help the situation a little bit for Great Britain. It's a free throw for them. They'll be back to full strength in about 30 seconds, and then they will be in a power play situation, but at least it will allow them to try and stretch the Austrian defence. So here we go. Can they profit? They'll probably need to do it on the next attack. I'm not sure the referees will give them 30 seconds on a single attack in these circumstances. Williams back to the centre again. Larsen looking to exploit the gaps. Ball still in play, and it's a throw into Great Britain. Well, a free throw given, in fact. Larsen Tries to go. That's off the foot of a defender. Is it deliberate? If it is, he's got to go. He has. 2-minute suspension for Maximilian Hermann, the 22-year-old right back, and so this is going to be advantageous for Great Britain, and especially so because in 3 seconds they will be back to full strength and we'll have a double power play situation for 1.5 minutes, which is when the Austrians will get one of their players back. So McDermott comes back in, GB at full strength. Now they've really got to try and capitalise and make the most of this to close the gap a little bit. Larson looks to the line. McDermott under the keeper, beautifully done. And they profited immediately from their first power play of the game. Austria, who hadn't had a 2-minute suspension 20 minutes into the first half, suddenly get two back-to-back. And Great Britain have now changed the defence. Gilagi being individually marked by Hawkins as the rest of the defence push up. They've got to watch the wingers coming in though. Zura strays in. And Weber happy to take a soft free throw then, let the clock run down, and he'll take time with the throw. Gilagi, you've got to watch him, he's got the power to do it, and Weber can't control the ball, it's gone out of play. Garnham, back to the keeper, they've got to move it down quick. Hare. Oh, dispossessed as he tried to go around, and is it going to be a break? Oh, Kieran Williams. Ball quickly fumbled, and Weber in the end gets a free throw, and McDermott's got to let that free throw be taken quickly. Time is against Great Britain now. They've got to try and benefit from the power play situation. So Schlinger's in the centre, all the experienced players back on court again to try and run down this clock as much as possible. They will have one of their players back in about 13 seconds. They've done well. And now Great Britain have a 2-minute suspension for some shirt holding. And Prieto goes off. And I have to say the referees not giving Great Britain too much of the luck here. That's a second, I'd have to say, harsh call against Great Britain on these 2-minute suspensions. So just when Great Britain had a little bit of an advantage, it's taken back again from them. Into the wing, into the side netting. And Austria may not have realised it yet, but they have got one of their suspended players back. They have now, Lasno is on. So Chris Moore in for Great Britain. Williams in the centre, Larson at right back. Hare's going to stay on though, but interestingly, is going to have to go in and play on the right wing because of Prieto being suspended. Great Britain have no natural replacement on the right wing position. Wood to some extent have relied on Woodall, right back player, coming into the wing instead, but choosing to keep the experience of Hare on court. Hawkins. So Austria now back to full strength. They've weathered that double suspension very well. Unlucky for Mo. It's off the bar, but stays with Larson, and Great Britain still in possession. Short-handed against Austria. Fourth time in the game that Great Britain have been short-handed. Double dribble. Kieran Williams fumbles the ball. Luckily though for them, Schlinger can't connect with the pass. Schlinger, who scored 473 goals for Austria in 125 appearances. No fault of his own, the pass at his feet. So Hare now comes out at the right back position. And interestingly, Larsson's gone in on the right wing. He'll be coming around very shortly. Obviously knows that he's going to be individually marked anyway, so it keeps him out of the way and allows a bit more space at the back. They switch the ball back. Hare looking for options, finds Larson, who's still too closely marked. Moore! Yes! Again, hides behind Gilagi and launches a long-range effort. Beautifully done. And brings up the 10 for Great Britain. 15-10 with 5 minutes remaining. A huge gap as the defence is sucked in on the power play by Austria. And it's Zura, their playmaker, who scores.
We're inside the final 5
First goal for Zura. And so with 4.5 minutes to go, Chris Moore is on. Prieto is back on again as the suspension is served out. Hare is in at the left back position where he started. But Kieran Williams stays in as the playmaker. Prieto feeds to Larson. They're all coming around the centre now. Hare, the line's free. Oh yes, Chris McDermott. Number 3.
Nailed it.
Well, what a great comeback by him, and a timeout is called by Austria. Their coach, Patrik Johannesson, decides that he's getting a little bit concerned with a comeback by Great Britain, who've had a 3-1 exchange now against Austria.
Just a touch over 4 minutes to go.
There, the Austrians have just called the timeout. Austria finished 9th at the European Championships in 2010 on home soil with some great results, and they have had some good wins recently, beating Iceland, who were silver medalists at the last Olympic Games, and Germany amongst others, and also 18th at the World Championships. A little bit disappointing, and to some extent that reflected why Magnus Andersson, their short-lived coach from Sweden, was then replaced by Patrik Johannesson. The Icelandic connection seems to work because the coach before Andersson was Dagur Sigurdsson, who took Austria to that 9th place at the European Championships. And make no mistake, that's a great achievement. Europe have the strongest team really in world handball. There's the Great Britain team then, with at the back their coach Dragan Djukic. He's given his instructions now. He's used that timeout by the Austrians to try and focus his team as well. And Great Britain playing nicely now when they're getting the opportunities. McDermott has done particularly well. 3 goals for him, top scoring. Murray's the next top scorer for Great Britain with 2 goals. So Maximilian Hermann is at right back. His twin brother, Alexander Hermann, is on the left wing. Little dummy, tries to release the ball, it's stolen. Play on, say the referees. Great save, it'll be a trade for Great Britain, but there must be a 2-minute suspension coming now. And it had to happen. Maximilian Hermann there at the bottom of the picture walking off. And it's his second 2-minute suspension of the game. Pulling back Martin Hare as he tried to make the long pass down the court. But what a shame that didn't go in. 2 missed chances now for Great Britain in the first half. Pearce going back in on the left wing now, and it's a power play situation for Great Britain with 3.5 minutes just over remaining now in the first half. 16-11 to Austria. So Kieran Williams now in place of Moore in the playmaker position. Little release into the wing, bit of an angle, not much of one, but well saved by Marinovic, a veteran of 106 internationals for Austria. Played at the European and the World Championships recently. Marinovic, who plays in the German Bundesliga, the toughest league in the world, as do 5 of the Austrian team. He plays for Wetzlar. And so the Austrians now looking to use their experience to stretch out this attack and negate the power play situation, and that's going to help with Schlinger happy to take that free throw using his huge experience. Number 21 with the ball there, the bottom of the picture. 29 years of age, also plays in the Bundesliga for Balingen. 125 caps, 473 goals. Little break there to mop the floor up for safety reasons. The clock has been stopped, so it's not benefiting the Austrians to let them run the clock down. Weber's gone in on the line now, and they've got to flatten the defence slightly, but there's no right wing to worry about. Good save by Bobby White, and a second great save, although it will be a throw in anyway to the goalkeeper. The shot taken over the line, and the GB captain, great saves there. So just under a minute for the power play for Great Britain. They've really got to try and capitalise on it. Hare, Williams, McDermott waiting for his moment to move across the face. Larson, Hare suddenly sees the gap. He's put it wide. What a shame, he broke through. And it's their finishing, a little like the match here against Israel, that may potentially let them down. 3 goals really missing that they could have put away. 2 minutes to go then in the first half, 16-11 still. Pushing very deep. It's back to the 3-2-1 defense. Garnham and Hare, the 2 players at number 2, pushing up when the ball's on their side, then dropping back quickly. Oh, well, that's why Schlinger is in the German Bundesliga. Saw the gap.
17-11.
Williams has to look up for support, and Larson comes back to help. And Lassner is back, and Austria at full strength again. So a little misunderstanding there between Williams and Hare. I think patience is going. Oh, well, Williams makes up for that. Thank you very much indeed. There was the gap.
17-12. Make some noise for Kieran.
Kieran Williams has scored 2 midweek in Austria. in the away leg. And so just 5 goals in it, last minutes of the first half. Gaps there for Schlinger. They move it back again to the line. He ran through the area of the line player though for Austria, and it's a ball for Great Britain. They've got 40 seconds now remaining. Switches into the wing. Oh, superbly done! Second goal for the right winger. 13-17.
Less than 30 seconds to go. Keep the noise up.
Well, Austria had up to a 7-goal lead. Now just 4 in front, and Great Britain doing well here as the Austrians put all their stars back on again. Trying to stem the flood here into the wing. Big gap, he's gone down, it's off the post. Great Britain ball, but only 4 seconds to go. Time to go, it won't count, it's off the post anyway. The whistle went just as he was shooting, and so the half-time buzzer leaves us with the scoreline of Austria 17, Great Britain 13. It's so close, 7 goals at one point, but Great Britain really steadied things, and they've shown their experience here to come back against a team who finished 9th in the last European Championships. Top scorer for Great Britain is McDermott with 3, whilst for Austria, Weber is on 5 along with Santos. Great performance here, great comeback by Great Britain. Let's hope they can keep it going in the second half. We'll take a short break, but join us again for the second half in just a few moments. We'll see you then. So welcome back to the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Then half-time here in this World Championship qualifying match between Great Britain and Austria. Great Britain at one point trailing by 7 goals. It was a tipping point, but they knuckled down. 5-2 exchange after that, and at half-time it's just 17-13 to Austria. Great performance by the British team, who've really not allowed the Austrians, far more experienced than they are, 9th at the last European Championships, to run away with this game. It forced the Austrians into putting all their stars back on again and to try and steady things, but still Great Britain got the upper hand with that 5-2 exchange late on. They've got to try and build on this now. Larson clearly being targeted by the defence, top scorer midweek in the away leg with 6 goals. He's only got 1 in the first half, but he's creating space for others, and that's where the difference is. So here we go then in the second half. Austria throw off in the wide strip. Great Britain seem to go straight back into a 3-2-1 defence, and we've got a little hold up. The clock, in fact, not quite starting as the buzzer went, and they'll need to either reset from the centre and start the second half again, or we'll wait and see if they'll just set the clock. They probably can't quite work out how many seconds have elapsed, and may need to call the Austrians back to the halfway line. So, top scorers in the first half. Well, Weber and Santos for Austria are top scoring for them. And interestingly, it's from both the wings that the danger is coming for Austria, whilst for Great Britain, McDermott has scored 3 great goals from the line, while Chris Moore, real opportunist, screening himself behind the defence to get a couple of goals, including a cracking goal over the head of Marinovic, just parting his hairline and clipping the underside of the goal to stay in, while Prieto has also scored 2 from the right wing. And I think we've just trying to reset the clock now. And they have a second stopwatch running on the table, so they managed to reset it with that. And here we go then, with 10 seconds already showing on the clock. Austria then at the beginning of the second half, leading 17-13 against Great Britain. Great Britain have never beaten Austria. Into the wing, superbly done. Oh, fantastic save by Bobby Wide. That was absolutely brilliant. Larson releases Williams, and that's an attacking foul. Runs straight into the defender, and Austria have possession. He's got to get back quickly now. Little crossover into the wing again. Just misread it this time, unlucky. And Weber, no mistake this time. 18-13, and Great Britain, just as in the first half, have really got to make sure that they hang in there and don't allow the Austrians to pull away quickly in this second half. 5 goals in it only, 1 minute played in the second half. Austria, as in the first half, still defending 6-0 with his tall, very strong and mobile defence. Here, Williams feeds into the side. Prieto! Marinovic thought he'd got it covered. He hadn't. Prieto gets his 3rd goal. They take a throw out very quickly. Gilagi into the wing again, and Weber, unlucky. White got his hand to it, but just couldn't quite keep it out. Weber's 7th goal. Austria, who'll head straight to Tel Aviv from here, where they play Israel midweek. And if they win here today, Austria would finish the day top of the group. At the moment, they're second behind Israel. They need the points here today against Great Britain. Great Britain may not be able to qualify from this group anymore, but they could become the fly in the ointment for the Austrians if they're not careful. Hare feeds off. Larsen looking for the line, couldn't find the ball into the line, but was fouled by Zura. He gets a free throw. Garnham starting in on the line instead of McDermott here for the second half. Still Williams in the centre. It does make you wonder whether Chris Moore is injured, because he hasn't appeared now for 15 minutes in the game. That's blocked. It goes out to the side of Buzovic for a throw-in to Great Britain. So Williams goes to the left-back position. Whoa. Well, that was a mistake by Marinovic. Completely misread the ball. It wasn't a particularly hard shot, but Williams has a lucky break and gets his second of the game. 15-19 now the deficit for Great Britain. 2.5 minutes into the second half as Fussler once more changes with Lassner to go into the attack. Gilagi in the centre. Buzovic, who hadn't appeared in the first half, has started at right back for Austria. Lovely feed into the line. And a goal by Fussler. Bobby White may be slow to come out on that one. And that's Fussler's second goal. Quick throw out taken by Great Britain into the wing. Prieto, this time well blocked by Marinovic. It's still in play though for Great Britain, who have to slow things down. They've ended up with 2 players in on the line now, and also they need to mop up the floor anyway. So the 20 goals brought up now by Austria on the board with 3 minutes and 5 seconds played. 5 goals in it, 7 at one point in the first half, but Great Britain having the better of the exchange at the end of the first half with a 5-2 turnaround, which shows that they've got the ability to hang in there. But at the moment they haven't fully turned the bench yet. And Chris Moore not appearing and not receiving treatment at the moment on the bench, so let's wait and see if he will come back on again. Larsen staying wide at the moment, trying to attract the defence and pull them across. Hare to the centre. Williams again looking for options. Garnham not releasing himself on the line. He does now, comes out to help. Here comes Larsen. He's got a little bit of space, but not enough. He's immediately closed down by Gilagi, who's been marking him right the way through. A little apology from Gilagi as he looks across. Larsen deciding to have a go this time. It comes off the defence, but Hare picks up the loose ball. Larsen's now in the centre. Passive play is being warned by the referees. They've got to take a shot quickly. And Kieran Williams tries again, this time straight down the middle. A comfortable save for Marinovic, and the Austrians are away. Great pass into the wing. No one in the centre to defend, and Lassner gets his second of the game. And Great Britain taking just a little too long to get the defence organised. So 4-2 exchange here. And it's being played at a cracking pace here. We've only been playing 4 minutes. We've already had 6 goals in the second half. Change on the line. McDermott coming back in again. Top scorer for Great Britain in the first half. There he is. Slots in amongst the defence. 3 goals so far in the game. Chris Moore is back again now. But interestingly, it's Larsen who's gone off. So a break for the Great Britain's top marksman. Oh, fantastic pass by Kieran Williams. Completely sold the dummy to the defence, and McDermott gets his 4th goal. 16-21. What a fantastic little pass that was by Williams. And Gilagi saying, let's relax things a little bit, as he's shadowed by Pearce right up behind him. Looking for the line, misunderstanding, the ball stolen. Bobby White looks up, there aren't any long pass options, and Kieran Williams thought he could see it. Instead, possession's given away. Fussler looks for support, and he's got it from Weber. And the Austrians score a giveaway goal there, and it's his 8th of the game, Weber. He certainly has been very much in evidence. Five minutes gone then in the second half. 22-16 the scoreline in favour of Austria. Hare, Moore. Moore looks to come in again, looks for the line. The ball stolen. It's off the leg, say the referees, and it's a free throw for Great Britain. Weber already halfway up the court when the free throw was given. He's that quick to try and get away on the fast break. Looking for the line again, and once more stolen, this time fairly, and a quick pass for Lassner. Lassner, who gets a free throw. Great defense by Chris Moore, who came across and covered him fairly. He basically chested him wide, and Lassner running out of space in the end to get his shot. Goes down, free throw, but good work by the Great Britain playmaker to smother what would otherwise have been an easy goal for the Austrians. So Buzovic, number 7, 48 caps, 117 goals, plays for Emstetten.
Big shot from downtown.
Well, Gilagi showing his experience there. And we've got a 2-minute suspension, I think, for Gilagi. Have we? Oh, it's a red card. Well, I think a 2-minute suspension, yes, but maybe Gilagi coming off the worst there. I think a little harsh. The referees, though, have pinned their colours to the mast early on and shown that they were happy to get the cards out and send the players up for 2 minutes. And sportingly, Gilagi apologises. There was no ill intent in that. It was just an accident, purely accidental, but Gilagi pays the ultimate price. Red card for him. Now, for those of you who may not know the rules in handball, you can replace a red-carded player after 2 minutes. His match is over, though. He'll have to leave. And he walks slowly across the back of the court to make his way to the changing rooms. He can go and join some of the 500 spectators here in the arena. Probably more than that, actually. We've got people standing at the back of the arena as well now, watching. And you can see him in the back there. He stepped over. Well, if they want to get his autograph, now's a good time. So, play resumes then. Power play for Great Britain, trailing 16-23. Gilagi, scorer of the last goal. Free throw for Great Britain, who'll keep possession. So long build up by the Great Britain team, and Larson is back on again to try and take advantage of the 2-minute suspension. Prieto, no way through. He gets a push and a free throw in the process, 7 minutes into the second half. And a power play still for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Great Britain want to take good advantage of it. Here he is, Larson. Parried away behind, and it's a throw in for the keeper.
Austria. Back on the attack.
So Schlinger comes in at the left back position. Zura into the center. There's plenty of experience to cover for the Austrian team as Zura covers for Gilagi. Schlinger takes over Zura's position at the left back position. Weber loitering outside at the moment while they're short-handed to help. He's still there, but getting in the way of Buzovic, I'd say, at the moment. Not helping enormously. Buzovic comes around now. Looks for the line. Well stolen, but unfairly, say the referees. And it's a free throw for Austria. You're playing well here to run the clock down. And play just suspended briefly while they mop the floor. 36 seconds remaining on the 2-minute suspension for, or rather the red card for Austria, with Gilagi being sent off. So play resumes. Buzovic, off the side of the post. Well covered. McDermott getting in the way there, covering the right-hand side of the goal as Buzovic looked at it. And so Great Britain really have to make this one count. Moore across to Larson. Larson going all the way through, but it's well intercepted this time, and Marinovic makes 2 important saves here during Great Britain's power play. And Great Britain not capitalizing on their position, unfortunately, at the moment, and in a few seconds' time, Austria will be back to full strength as Zura is being individually marked now by Pierce on the far side. Pierce comes back again. He's got to get back in position quickly, and they've given possession away. Kieran Williams looks up. Larson into Prieto. Tries to spin the ball. That's off the Austrians, and it's a throw into Great Britain. So Larson staying on now as Austria are back to full strength. He's had his break, all of 2.5 minutes of it. And Great Britain's top marksman, here he comes, who in the first half has really acted as a deterrent, really. Taking a... superb goal! Well, John Pierce, you won't get more opportunist than that. He picks the ball up above the area and somehow manages to shoot before he lands inside. Just as Förstler thought he'd done enough to cover. In fact, it was Weber. So 17-23 the deficit now for Great Britain against a team ranked 9th in Europe at the last championships. Schlinger. Oh, unlucky. Bobby White seemed to save it. The ball comes off his arm and bounces over. So that one by Bozovic makes it 24-17 to Austria. Bozovic's first goal of the game. Well, Great Britain may regret not making better use of the power play earlier on, as McDermott resumes his position in the centre. Larsen comes around once more, draws the defence out as he comes past. Moore tries to be opportunist, but it comes off the foot of Vytautas Zura, and it's a free throw for Great Britain, which McDermott will take. So now Williams and Moore back on again. It's interesting that Great Britain are playing combinations of their playmaker at centre and left back rather than keeping Hare on with the playmaker. Moore looks for the line, but he wasn't there anymore. And it's going to be a quick fast break for Weber. Dummies the first shot, and although Bobby White got his foot to it, and we have a 2-minute suspension meanwhile for Chris McDermott for an earlier offence. Great play by Weber, who's already now on 9 goals in this game. The winger has had a great match, and it's now an 8-goal lead for Austria, the biggest in the game so far. And just as in the first half when Great Britain went 7 down, this is a critical point for them that they've got to hang on for and make sure that they don't let the game slip away from them. So power play for the Austrians. Chris Moore, Colin Williams in the centre. And you got to wonder if Hare, who took a knock early on and had to go off, is injured, because they don't have too many options at the moment, the Great Britain team at the back, with the injuries to Sani and to Vincent. And it's left them somewhat short-handed. Hennessy with just 1 cap, they opted not to pick today. Chris Moore tries to find the ball into the line, if that's deliberate, which I think it was. Weber says no, but he's got a 2-minute suspension whether he likes it or not, and that will level things out.
2-minute penalty.
He says, yeah. Don't agree with it, but that's the way it is. The referees have the final word, and so Great Britain and Austria both now short-handed. Though Great Britain will be back to full strength a little earlier than the Austrians, and will have to try and make some advantage out of the power play. Larsen has now gone into the central position, interestingly, and the Austrian defence coming a long way forwards. They've got to hurry up here. They're going to have passive play called against them. And without any warning there, I think they're saying too many steps by Kieran Williams, and possession goes over. And so Lassner goes off once more, and Fussler is in, but he will start on the right wing, the line player, and they've got to watch him because he will come around, probably when the ball's coming in from the opposite direction, coming in from left wing, left back. He'll come in and try and use the space behind. Little handoff. Bozovic, what a shot. Second goal for Bozovic, who's 2 meters and 3 tall, an enormous back player, and a timeout has been called by Dragan Djukic, keen to make sure his team don't slip up now. 9 goals behind. They've conceded a 5-1 exchange, and if they ever had to do what they did at the end of the first half, now's the time to do it. Dragan Djukic there right in the centre on the ground with his clipboard out, looking to try and change things. At the moment they're struggling to break through Great Britain. That's been the biggest problem for them. The attack's moving well across the back, but it's all sideways and not going in. But the Austrians, in fairness, are defending well. And they've only had the 1 goal by Pearce so far, that amazing take inside the area and shot. And Jesper Parker stretching in the background. Will they make a change in goal, I wonder? And bring in the 27-year-old who plays for Sävehof in Sweden. 32 caps. Well, in fact, no, it's Satchwell who's going to go into goal, number 16. The 20-year-old who plays for Basel in Switzerland. 15 caps to his name. There he is, looking very concentrated. He's come on for a couple of penalties only so far. So meanwhile, for Great Britain, Martin Hare is back on again for the attack. The 22-year-old who plays for Stavanger in Norway. Slots back in at the left back. And have we got a problem again with the clock not starting again? I wonder. The table official has called over the referee. So it'll be Pearce on the left wing, Prieto on the right wing. It's going to change, in fact, because just as the play stops, Pierce goes off, and Mark Hawkins, 26-year-old who plays in Iceland for First Division club Afturelding, has come in. 58 goals in 25 appearances for the Great Britain number 20, and with the clock reset at the proper time, we played 12 minutes now and 15 seconds of the second half. Play resumes with both teams short-handed, but Great Britain about to get back to full strength again, but they've got to really watch things here as they trail by 9 and make sure that they don't let the Austrians suddenly start scoring freely. Larsen. The free throw as Larsen is fouled. Martin Hare going right over to the other side, starting from the central position at the moment, switching with Larsen. Williams. Larsen, Hare decides to shoot. Oh! Marinovic thought he had it covered, but he hadn't. And Hare gets his second of the game.
Martin Hare makes it good. 18-26.
And now it's a power play situation for Great Britain. They've just got back to full strength, while Austria are still short-handed, but only for 20 seconds, and I'm sure they've got enough experience between them to run that clock down and make sure they're not going to play short-handed at the other end. Going through, that's a free throw, and the ball's gone completely out of play. Whether that was deliberate or not, I don't know, but it'll certainly let the clock run down. The referees have stopped with 7 seconds of the suspension remaining while they try to retrieve the ball. So at the front of the defence, we've got Mark Hawkins, the winger, who's pushing up, and without Gilag, it's Zura who's taking over the playmaking role for the Austrians. Zura, who did play in the left back, did really well under a lot of pressure. Fussler scores his third goal of the game. So Great Britain have lost the advantage here on the power play. The Austrians, as we expected, have let the clock run down, and both teams are back at full strength. Kieran Williams, Hare's gone back into the centre. Larsen looks for some opportunities, but they're marking him so closely. What he is doing, though, is taking the pressure away from some of the others and giving a little bit more space for the other back players for Great Britain. Garnham completely marked at the back, and in the end, Larsen tries to take a long-range shot. It's deflected off a defender, which takes the sting out of the shot, and back come the Austrians. Bozovic, the huge 2 meters and 3 back player, into the wing. Beautifully done. Satchwell gets the ball, but inside the area anyway. Weber's shot wouldn't have counted as back come Great Britain. Hare. Well, Marinovic moved across, and Hare just helped himself. Thank you very much indeed. If you want to show me that much of the goal, I'm happy to take it. Third goal for him. So a quick change for Austria then, as Fabian Posch, 35 caps, comes on. He'll go in on the line, 1.98 meters, 103 kilos. He's a big line player, takes over from Fussler. Looking back to the left wing, and that's an attacking foul. Hawkins is well away if they want to be quick about it. But by the time they get the ball back to where they want it, he's already covered. Moore into Larsen, Prieto, Moore. And runs into Bozovic with a very high hand, but he just gets a free throw. And Austria did well there to smother the phase 2 attack. To Hare. So we have 15 minutes remaining in this match. It's 27-19 to Austria at the moment. Oh, that ball telegraphed and comfortably taken by Schlinger. And Austria looking for some quick options down the court. Bozovic sucks in the defense and then gives the ball away to Weber. And Weber gets his 10th goal of the game. So the throw for Great Britain. 9 goals in it. We've got to dig really deep now, Great Britain. These matches in this World Championship qualifier, all about getting experience ahead of the Olympic Games. No substitute for this. Looks for the line. Garnham was free, but the ball went straight past him, and Schlinger picks up the loose one. And Austria have possession again, and the concentration slipping slightly as Lassner comes off once more. And Posch will go in on the line. Bosch is 23 years old, plays for Sparkasse Schwarz in Austria. You've got to watch it if they come out. Prieto coming out a long way, but he's leaving space behind him if he's overtaken. And that is the danger. And Schlinger taking a little bit of a blow, just taking time to recover. Comes back to the left back position to resume. And they've got a player at the back, and that's the danger with this 3-2-1 defense. It's very deep at the moment, and it does open up spaces at the back. Little handoff. Schlinger into the wing, nicely played, but not enough space on the wing. Passive plays being won now against the Austrians. Bozovic, top corner.
Big shot. Number 7.
Adds to his tally of 117 goals already for Austria. 10-goal lead for Austria, 17 and a half minutes into the second half. So they've gone back to the starting lineup at the back now with Herr, Moore and Larsen. Larsen now over on the left-hand side. And Herr just fumbles the ball, catches his foot. An opportunist throw down the court by Schlinger. The empty goal, Satchwell was on the side and could have been embarrassed, but it went wide. Herr. Off the post. Herr gets his fourth. Joins McDermott at the top of the scoring list now. Brings up the 20 for Great Britain. So Bozovic under close scrutiny this time now by Herr, who's pushing up on him. He's got a huge shot, and they do have to be careful. The line player's gone out. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a trip, and Satchwell sent the wrong way by Bozovic, who's seriously found his range. That's his fourth goal. Brings up the 30 for Austria. Well, Great Britain's goal here today was to make sure that the Austrians, far more experienced, of course expected to win this match, don't win it by any more than they did midweek. 15-goal gap it was midweek, and Great Britain looking to do considerably better than that today if they can. But it's, as I said, a very experienced team, Austria. Passive plays being warned. Herr's going to have to take a shot, and in the end they run out of time. The Ukrainian referees blow. Straight down the centre, beautiful pass, push, puts it underneath. First goal for him in the game, 31-20, as Great Britain take the throw off very quickly. Moore brought down by Dominic Schmidt, the 1m90 left back. So Williams has now come on again, and Herr having another break, and you do wonder whether he is carrying something. Whitlin has taken over on the line, number 9. Good big strong line player, Whitlin. Moore. Not a bad, it was going in the top corner, but well read by Marinovic. 10 minutes to go then in this match, 31-20 to Austria. As the Austrians now put on Markus Kolar, 27-year-old left back, try and add some yet further impetus to the attack. Into the line, into the wing, superbly done. Drew the defense in, but he's put it wide. Alexander Herrmann. Lost possession, and now there's another break on Weber, already a scorer of 10 goals. And not much Satchwell can do one-on-one, no one covering him. Weber's 11th. So Whitlin's gone in for Great Britain, first appearance in the game, the 25-year-old, 6 caps only, plays for Basel in Switzerland, used in defence, but now in attack for the first time, swapping with Garnham and McDermott. In fact, he goes in on the attack as Great Britain switched to a 4-2 attack. Well, almost getting into each other's way, but in fact fouled. Little shove in the back there by Dominic Schmidt. And let's see if this 4-2 formation for Great Britain pays any dividends. Mør, Larsen. What it'll do is it'll flatten the defence a bit, force the defenders back. Chris McDermott, oh, fantastic save by Marinovic, who came out quickly. But it's working. The defence are trying to sit back, but it's disjointing them very slightly. Push once more, pushing in on the line. We have 8 minutes remaining in the game. 32-20 to Austria. And Bozovic again, the big gun. Goal number 5. 33-20. So, well, 2 defenders either side and eyeing up the line, but it's allowing a little bit more space at the back for Great Britain. Let's see if Larsen can get a little bit more action now. He's been so closely marked all of the time. Mør gives it away cheaply, and once more Weber's away like a rocket. Satchwell came out, invited the lob, but he missed the lob, Weber, and back come Great Britain quickly. Mør puts it across, Larsen into the line, but Witlin didn't understand what he was trying to do. Stopped short on his run, and now it's a break back the other way. And no mistake for Austria as Markus Kolar gets his first of the game, and it's a 5-goal run for Austria. 34-20. So at the left back now, it's Martin Herr. Takes over from Chris Mør. Looking for the line. Did well, McDermott. Goal number 5 for him. They needed that after conceding 5 goals without reply. And Weber is still at it. Goal number 12 for him. Equals the goals scored by Santos on the other wing midweek in their match. Well, Macmillan's now come into the fray for the first time for Great Britain. Number 18, playing in on the line at the moment. Hare looking to try and feed the ball straight in. Dan Macmillan, 29 years of age, plays for Order in Denmark, and seeing if he can do anything else. Larsen tries to find a way around and takes a little slap as he comes in. I think the foul by Markus Kolar gives a free throw for Great Britain. Macmillan's now coming out. Starts as a 5-1. Then stays in on the line. Well, Larsen suddenly saw the corner of the goal, and as a goalkeeper seemed to move across and put his weight on the left side. Takes a long range shot, only his second of the game. 35-22 to Austria. Well, ironically, in the first game, Great Britain slipped in the first half and then really tightened up, only losing the second half by 3 goals in Tulln. This time it's gone the other way. Played a good first half before losing their way in the second half somewhat as Schmidt scores. (36-22). Great Britain, incidentally, have changed goalkeeper. And Bobby White is back in goal. And Prieto is being given a break now on the right wing. On the far side, you can see Aidan Woodhall comes in, the 21-year-old from Salford, for his first cap for Great Britain, the number 6. Hare, it's over the line. Marinovic reacted too slowly. 5th goal for Hare. So Great Britain steadying things slightly, close the gap back, but we have just 4 minutes remaining. Oh, what a lovely pass inside, wasn't he? No, not given by the referees. I thought Posh was standing on the line. Posh's second goal of the game. Looks for the line. Inside the area, unfortunately McDermott, he fell on the line. And the referees have no choice but to give a free throw to Austria. Bozovic, the big gun. Well, he missed the chance there. Posh was free. They try a second time, but this time he's too closely marked. The pass too long, in the end it goes out of play. Nothing that Gervin could do about that. Gervin, who's also come into the fray as Great Britain, turned the bench late on here to try and give some experience to some of the other players who haven't been on yet. Gervin, 19 years of age, plays for Honored in Denmark, the number 10. It's a left winger, 7 caps, but already 24 goals. And he's also playing at the front of the defence now. Looking to go through on his own, and misread by Bobby White in goal as Collard gets his second. 3 minutes to go. Larson tries to surprise Marinovic with a low shot, but not enough power behind it, I'm afraid. Schmidt in the central position, Buzovic at right back now, Kolar at left back. Kolar called back into the Austrian team after Lucas Meyer was injured in the midweek game. Great Britain now looking for the shot, well saved by Bobby White. Larson looks for opportunities, finds Macmillan down the centre. Through the legs of the keeper, and a goal for Martin Hare. Top scoring now for Great Britain with 6 goals. 14 goals in it. It's still less than the deficit of midweek, but 2 minutes remaining in the game. And a better defensive display late on here by Great Britain. Pushing very deep with Gervin at the front. Buzovic puts it back again. He's getting a lot of attention from Macmillan. No surprise there, into the wing. And a little bit of showboating by the Austrians with a little Kempe there for Marcus Collard to finish off with. Collard's 3rd goal of the game.
39-24, Austria.
So 1.5 minutes to go. Austria just one shy of the 40 as Great Britain turned their bench late on here to give a bit of experience to some of the younger players. Martin Hare at the left back. Larson. Again, the defence pushes up quickly. Martin Hare thinks about the line, but no release, unfortunately, no freedom on the line, and a long pass goes well wide of Larson, and we enter the last minute now of the game with Austria on the attack, leading 39-24. So still it's more of a 5-1 defence now, although they are pushing up on Buzovic, and that's no surprise at the moment with Macmillan staying very close to him, but the 2 defender in from the right-hand side, Larson, staying back now. And the 5-1 at the moment at least is holding reasonably well. Switched back again by Kolar. Opportunity for Hermann. Kolar again. It's gone in and brings up the 40 for Austria. Chance maybe for a final attack now. 25 seconds remaining in the game. Garnham is back in on the frame now, playing on the line. And then a quick change back. Macmillan taken off for what could be the last attack of this World Championship qualifying game. And indeed, the last attack maybe for Great Britain in this particular competition. They knew beforehand they couldn't qualify. Nicely taken by Weber. He read it well. Tried to showboat, and there goes the buzzer. Saved by Bobby White, and so Great Britain have lost here, 40-24. A great first half. I think they'll be a bit disappointed with the second half, where they lost their footing a little bit against the experienced Austrian side, especially in attack. At times the defence worked well, but the attack misfiring for a lot of the time. Larson not being given a lot of space and couldn't quite release the others. And Austria have taken the points, and with it go top of the group, and they'll travel off now to Israel to play them for the decision, really, to see which of those 2 teams will go through to the next stage in these World Championship qualifiers. But all credit to Great Britain. It is about gaining experience, and they certainly have plenty of that here today. They've turned the bench well. They had injury problems coming into this anyway. But Hare with 6 goals, top scoring. McDermott with 5 just behind him. But the man of the match here today, well, it has to be Weber with 12 goals here. What a great goal. So it is Great Britain 24, Austria 40. Hope you've enjoyed the match. But for now, from me, Paul Bray, goodbye.
On BritishHandball.com. They'll be back in action again soon. Great Britain, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves this afternoon. this is your first time watching handball, I hope it's not your last.